Welcome back to the PB&J podcast. And this is a shorter video. We just wanted to do a little channel update. We've done this now for a year, which is pretty crazy to think about. We've done a lot of stuff
Wild.
in that year. Yeah, no kidding. So we just wanted to fill you guys in on some of the things that are coming up and some of the things we're thinking about doing, and also wanted to get your feedback.
Well, first thing we wanted to do is we wanted to say thank you all for being a part of our podcast and just kind of participating with us. Ben and I started this as an extension of his ministry. That was Ben's intention. For me, it was a space where I get to connect with my friend. And during the kind of doldrums of the pandemic, really kind of like talk about and think about things and just kind of give me a space to like let out a little bit of that. I don't want to call it creative energy, but just like that pin up energy that I really hadn't had an outlet for. That piece of me that loves like really reconciling, understanding theology. So I want to say thank you all for that. Your
Mm.
support and your listening has allowed us to do that. And that's a gift to us. And that sounds really small and really sentimental and really sappy and stupid, but it's really true. All those things can be true at the same time. But we really do appreciate you guys letting, just being supportive of us. It's been a really fun journey. It's been cool for some really good byproducts. We've had some great conversations with people in the comments, via email, secure messages, just all those kind of different things. And we've even been able to reconnect with some old friends. Ben and I have even got closer as friends. So it's been a really cool thing. So we asked one thing from you: please continue to listen. And the second thing we asked from you is to just pray for us as we kind of journey through this, so that we can make sure that we are, being obedient to God's word, but also uh, growing and kind of like providing the content that's edifying that we're hoping to do. With that said, we also ask that if you can continue to like, share, subscribe, comment. You guys have been doing a great job of
Mhm.
doing that. Reach out to us if you want. We'd love to talk to you. We actually have a pretty active base of people that text us after every episode anyway, but we want to invite more people to do that. So if you want to get in touch with us, comment on the videos. We respond and we read every single one of them. Reach out to us
Mhm.
on Facebook. Ben, do we have a email that we can use, or do we want to plug that yet? That too
Yes,
soon?
official.pbjpodcast@gmail.com. And it'll
Yeah.
be in the description too.
Okay. So official.pbjpodcast@gmail.com. Email us. We'll get back to you very quickly. Um,
Mhm.
Still the middle of the pandemic, right? So we have
Yep.
anything else better to do. So with all that said, we're just really grateful for the idea. So with that in mind, we're talking a little bit about today about our future, kind of where we would like to go. We've been doing this for a year. It's been a lot of fun. We've learned a lot, but now we're kind of trying to change a little bit about how we kind of go about it. And we want to bring in a little bit more of the audience because
Mhm.
for us, this is interactive rather than just you listen to us. I don't know if we're necessarily more of your static entertainment as we are participatory entertainment. So we're asking you guys if you have any other topics, any ideas or questions for us, things that you want us to kind of talk about, discuss, review. Those kind of things are really, really helpful to us. It gives us a direction of the content that you want to hear. So it's beneficial to you, but also gives us some direction on things that we can do, because we have a ton of ideas. Not all of them are winners. Just ask Ben for some of the ones I pitch. I'm sure he can give you some horror stories. But we do really appreciate it. The second thing is, if you guys get a chance to reach out to us, let us know if you like guests, or if you have somebody that you know that would like to be on the podcast,
Mhm.
recommend them to us. Please see if we can connect and see if it's a good fit. But we've had some pretty good reception with our guests, so we want to know if that's an enjoyable thing to you. So comment, subscribe, let us know all the things. With that said, I want to give you a brief preview of what's in the pipeline. So, what's coming up next? The first thing that we're going to be doing, so the next series that we're going to be taking on is actually one of our listeners gave us this comment and they reached out to us. We're going to do a study on Job. So,
Mhm.
we haven't quite written out exactly how it's going to go, so I can't say too much, but we're going to take at least a high level view, probably a little bit more specific view of the book itself, and give some interesting considerations on how we can approach that piece of literature in the biblical text, how we can understand it, what it means to us, and how it can apply to
Mhm.
our lives, with a variety of other really cool things in there too. Can't give too much away
Yeah.
on that one. After that series, we're looking at one that we're going to tentatively title Catholic Considerations. For those of you who don't know, I'm extremely empathetic toward all forms of Catholic thought. Uh, I I have a joke with my wife. This is a true story. My wife says, "You've never met a Catholic that you didn't like," which is true because like I literally like make friends with people. And we find out later that they're Catholic,
Mhm.
and it's seriously I'm batting 1,000. I kid you not. Like I'm actually batting 1,000. So we're gonna do a series on Catholic considerations. What that means is simply this: we're gonna talk about some of the controversial things, and I'm using controversial now. Now I'm putting up air quotes that you can see for things that Protestants have traditionally rejected as unbiblical, not thoughtful, wrong. So Pope, saints, Mary, stuff like that, right? And like
Mhm.
really take a deep dive into what those mean, what the biblical doctrine says about that, so we can kind of get a better understanding and how that might affect us as Protestants. So whether we can glean anything from that, or whether there's some truth there that we can learn, or maybe if we need to consider changing our position in totality. We don't know.
Yeah.
So Catholic Considerations, tentatively titled. That's the next series after that. And then after that, our third series in the pipeline is going to be a focus on eschatology, which is a big way and fancy, nerdy way of saying the end times. We're going to focus in on kind of how all this is going to end. There's a huge rabbit hole on YouTube you can go down. I recommend you do not, but you can go down it if you want. Of all the people giving you all these like crazy like end times, like insert the GIF of the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia who's like, and he's got the thing in the background. Insert that GIF here, or like a meme or whatever it is. I don't know. Anyway, like where they're trying to like pick out like when the end is going to come and like what's being communicated with us subtly through pop culture and the Bible and all this stuff. And America's the eagle, Trump is the trumpet, that kind of stuff. There's a huge community on YouTube that follows that. And one of the things that's really interesting is that's become a very, very dominant theme in our theological discourse in pop culture at the pop level.
Mhm.
I mean, we've had two major films with fairly significant known actors, right? Do Left Behind movies, which is basically built off of dispensational theology. So we want to kind of do a high level view of that, give you the different positions, articulate what churches believe what, and maybe help you get some clarity on what you might believe with the church you're going to, or help you find the church that you're looking for that does believe the right
Yeah.
things, and give you some ammunition to maybe critique and kind of think about what's going on in your own mind, your own life, and how that applies to you, and why eschatology in the end and thinking about the end and return of Christ is relevant to you.
And that was going to take a lot of work, which is why it's not the next one that we're doing, because
Oh,
we've already started working on the eschatology stuff, but we also know it's going to take a long time to get all
yeah.
that set because there's a lot. It's a very involved subjects, and we want to try to be fair to that conversation. A couple other things I wanted to mention. I know I took a pause for reviewing young adult material. That's because of stuff going on at my house. They were getting, there was some remodeling going on, and I didn't want to do those in my pseudo office where the previous recordings were. So I do have some things in the backlog with that. So other young adult materials I will be reviewing soon. I know some people are looking forward to that. I have a lot of material actually. Also, I do have the Genesis 2 video I'm still editing because I kind of hate editing and it takes me forever, but I'm almost done with it. I will continue that series, but it's not going to be as edited as like the intro or Genesis 1. So I'm sorry. If anyone's out there and wants to edit like pro bono, that'd be awesome. But, no worries if you're not willing to. Also, Jordan and I have been talking about possibly offering some special things to our listeners, some maybe behind the scenes recordings of like our show prep, stuff like that. Also, offering like our show notes if you're interested in seeing like our resources and like our outlines and all the crazy stuff that we write up and like work through. If you're curious to know that stuff, we're still trying to figure out how we would do that exactly. Maybe do something like with Patreon. That is something that we've talked about. It wouldn't be a lot. Like we're not going to be stupid with it, but if you do want to support the show, that is another way you could do it. But we're still trying to figure out, what that would look like. So let us know if you'd even be interested in stuff like that. Like if extra videos of just seeing Jordan and I talk about, oh, what are we going to talk about today, and hear us sort of argue and the things that don't make it into the show. Because sometimes in our pre-show we talk about things and we're like, okay, we need to stop because we should have recorded that because we just get
Yeah,
some really good conversations
we
going
really
on.
do.
Yeah.
We really, really do. And we've even some of the other premium content, like, Ben and I have toyed around with doing like Christian, well, mostly me have toyed around with doing like Christian literature reviews. Like, how do we understand
Mhm.
the themes of Tolkien? Like, how does that apply to us, Lord of the Rings in our life and stuff like that. So we could even put premium content up there if that's something you guys are interested in at all as well.
Yeah. Really just thanks for being part of our conversation. I know it's just Jordan and I talking sometimes with another person, but really hearing your feedback, even if it's just like, hey, enjoy the episode, something like that. Like, we love that. Like, that's because we're here for you. Like, we don't have to record these. It could just be Jordan and I talking, which sometimes, I mean, when we're not recording, that's what we
That's what's
do. But
happening. Yeah.
yeah, that's what our pre show is like. No, really, thank you for being a part of the conversation. And we just wanted to give you guys an update about what's going on, and also let you know that we are listening to what you're saying, and we love hearing your suggestions. Like every time someone says, "Hey, could you talk about this?" Like I'm texting Jordan or Jordan texting me, and it's like, "Hey, someone wanted this," and we're like, "All right, let's do it," because we love that, and so we're here to serve you guys. And well, normally I say like, comment, subscribe. Well, okay, like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. If you have anything to say, go ahead and do it.
We really appreciate you guys. Seriously, it's been a really fun year journey. We're hoping to keep it going as long as we can. And you guys are a really integral part of that. So thank you for being you, for listening, and really looking forward to your continued support.
So thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.